Let's take a look at today's bias, and we'll also take a look at a short on ES from yesterday's New York AM session. Let's get it. Welcome back to the channel, guys. It is Jimmy Trades here. And before we move on, please smash that like button and be sure to leave a comment as well. Your support means the world to me, and it helps support the channel as well and push it far and wide. So please smash that like button right now. Thank you, guys. Alrighty, looking at the calendar here, first of all, and we have 10 a.m. news incoming with JOLTS job openings. All right, so be aware of that for our high impact news today. Alrighty, let's take a look at NQ. And we did have a bullish bias yesterday, but price already sort of reached its peak. It didn't really move too much higher than, where we sort of recorded the video yesterday. I mean, it did expand a bit at open, at that 9:30 open, but not enough to see these highs taken out. And then price came back into the range. So was our bias correct? Well, we closed bullish. We didn't expand as high as we were hoping, but it's not over yet. We could still see price continue to move higher here. Looking at this currently, though, we are reacting off the previous day's midpoint, and we need to keep an eye on that. It's a little bit of a indecisive move so far today. We have opened, gone lower, sort of just sticking around the midpoint of today's range as well at the moment. So it'll be interesting to see how the market moves when we get to open today. So look, we have a close above previous day high. I'm going to look for price to run higher if we can see an hourly change in state of delivery. I'd like to see that. At the moment, that would mean a close probably above this level here. Okay, so we'd need to see a close above there, or if we put in some new structure between here and say that 10 a.m. news, then a closure above something like that. Otherwise, looking for that move here. Otherwise, we will continue to be bearish. We have got a bearish change in the state of delivery right through here, and prices continue to respect that. And the only thing at the moment is we still haven't swept out either side of previous day's range yet. So we might see the low swept here first before we continue to move higher. At the moment, that is the low hanging fruit. And if we look at the hourly chart like we just did, showing that we do have some bearish structure there as well. So ES will be similar. Price almost closing back inside the range here, but ES has in fact swept previous day low. All right, so we can see that as a point of interest being swept. And, at the moment we're stuck between the midpoint of yesterday's range and that low. So we have an SMT at the low here, so that could be a good sign for price to maybe shift higher. And like NQ, we want to see a change in state of delivery to confirm that move. While we're on ES, let's move on down. We'll go to the 4 hour actually. And if we have a look here, we had a 6 a.m. candle close back inside the range here. This is looking at the trade from yesterday's AM session. And YM was already quite heavy. YM was already selling off. ES and NQ. NQ was actually pushing higher while ES was sort of hanging around at the same sort of price level. It wasn't really doing too much, and YM was moving lower. But if we shift down to the 15-minute, what we have is this is the trade here. So I was looking at this 15-minute candle. It closed here back inside the range in this point of interest here as well. And we had that 4-hour candle closure that closed back inside the range as well. So it was a market order in on the, or probably on the open of this candle, and then stop at the high, and then we'll target in just 2R, just a simple 2R. Now, I didn't stay in this position, and the reason I didn't is because of time. Because I market ordered in, I couldn't set OCO orders, and therefore I had to close the position, because if it did hit TP, if price did hit TP, for example, which obviously it did, then I'd still be left with a buy stop sitting up here. And you can imagine if price was to reverse while I was sleeping, then that buy stop could have been triggered, and then I'd be in an open position that isn't protected. So I did exit this position. I've since found a workaround, so I can make sure that I've got OCO orders when I market order in. And if you could see, I'm using inverted commas to say market order in, because of the way I've worked out that I can do it now. And I will share that in a future video, probably just a little short, just showing how you can go about doing that to ensure that your position is covered when you're not at the charts. So that was it. That was a nice little ES trade there. It came close to being stopped out here, but overall we ended up hitting that 2R. And you can see on the left side of the chart here, just all this low resistance liquidity running right down through here. So that was what I was anticipating to see price take out. And I was actually expecting price to probably fall a little bit harder than what it did, but or a little bit quicker, I should say. But we had this battle here between the 9:30 open and the 8:30 open, and you can see that we chopped around in there, couldn't close above 8:30, and then away we went. All right, let's jump back to the daily chart, over to oil. And we were neutral yesterday on oil. What we can see here is we did have this candle close back inside the range, and price sold off from there. So we continued that move lower. Are we going to continue to expand here? Well, we have swept previous day low already into a bullish FEG. So if this is respected, and if we do see that just looks so huge on the hourly chart there, a change in state of delivery. So I'd like to see a close through this level here at the moment. If we were to continue to move higher, close through here, then we can entertain price to move higher. Until that happens, then I would remain bearish. Okay, so we're going to look to be bearish. All right, moving over to gold, the daily. So currently getting price moving back inside the range here. We've moved off these all-time highs, and we've had a fair reaction up there. Right now, we are challenging the equilibrium of the previous day range. So if price is going to turn around from here, we need to see this level hold. If we continue to move from here and close here, then the next thing I want to see is, will we bounce off this level, this order block here, or do we continue to expand lower if we get a candle closure back inside the range there? Having a look at the hourly, we do have an hourly change in state of delivery, quite convincing. Got expansion right through here. We've got that displacement with these gaps that have opened up here as well, and we've had multiple gaps. And we can see that what we've done is swept out all this low resistance liquidity through here. So we're coming into this midpoint now. We've got essentially this order block through here. We can come down, can we wick off that and then move higher? We'll see what happens. So I'd be remaining bearish until proven otherwise at the moment, until we get that change in state of delivery. Heading over to Dixie, we have reached down into this bullish FVG here, and we are getting a reaction off of that as well. This is the move we were looking for yesterday. And if we move to the hourly, yet to see a change in state of delivery, but I would anticipate that out of this point of interest, because we'd be looking for our internal to external. Okay, heading over to Euro now, we have an inverse correlation with Dixie. So therefore, if we're bullish on Dixie, we'd be bearish for the Euro. And you can see here also, we've come up into our point of interest that we were looking for, and we've had a reaction out of there now. Do we have a change in state of delivery? Not yet. All right. We're probably going to need to put in some structure here. So another move higher and then a move through that level, and that would give us our change in state of delivery. Let's jump over to crypto now, and we'll push over to Bitcoin on the daily. And look, we had a great push there yesterday. Really need to see previous day's midpoint hold. Okay, we really want to see that. We are in this point of interest, so understand that internal to external. But what we want to see is, if we're going to have high prices, that we can hold this midpoint and look for price to move higher off of that. And if we go over to Ethereum now, we're going to look at the similar. I can see yesterday how we just bounced straight off Sunday's midpoint, just almost to the tick. All right, and that's what we're looking for here also. And you can see we've also had that reaction out of the gap. We'll mark out the midpoint here, and we're right at it now. So same thing, we want to see a change in state of delivery on the hourly for us to see price continue to move higher. All right, guys, don't forget you can grab 40% off Tradeify. Use the link in the description, please, and then use code BOOST. You've got till the end of today to get 40% off. And of course, with Apex, just head over to Apex, use code Jimmy, and you will get 80% off. All right, guys, take care. Have a fantastic Tuesday. Catch you in Trade Foundry. Bye for now.